Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the F minor chord, and this is going to be very similar to the lesson I had put out on the F major chord. Some of the principles we're going to talk about are going to mirror that video. So I'm going to link that on the left or the right. Please do check it out. Let's get right into this video. So just like we had an easy shape for F major, we have an easy shape for F minor as well. I'm going to come up just a little bit closer for you guys, and this shape is basically on the bottom four strings. So the D string, the G string, the B string, and the E string, the high E string. And we're gonna bar the first fret on the first three strings. So G, B, and E strings. We're gonna bar that down on the first fret. And I just want to make an exaggerated indentation on which part of my finger I use for this technique. So right about there, I don't know if the camera's focusing or not, but you'd be able to see a couple of lines on my finger, and where those lines are is on the side of my finger. It's not on the fleshy part of my finger, because the side of my finger has the bone, right? So if you can see here, my nail is actually kind of pointing in that direction. It's not really pointing, in front or at you guys in the camera. So what this does is it gives us the ability to press down on three strings at the same time, and this is a big bar, especially for a beginner. So what I want you to do is actually play out each of these notes one by one and make sure you're not buzzing any of the strings. And in essence, you have the F minor triad right there. So that is F, that is C, and that is A flat on the G string. And these three notes do make up the F minor chord. But if you just play it kind of sounds very restrictive in terms of its richness, and it seems like that type of a sound is only made for playing funk guitar. So to give it that richness, we're going to add a couple of more notes, and this note right here, the third fret on the D string, which is also used in the F major chord, that's an F note. So we're going to add some of that bassiness in, all right? And we're going to have this shape. So it's the same thing, but we're also adding our ring finger on the third fret of the D string or the fourth string. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my thumb behind the fretboard, as in you guys can't see it out the top. And that because a lot of these strings, and especially the bar part, so this is where the most tension in my hand is, because I'm holding down three strings. They're sharper strings. They are gonna make lines in your hand. It is gonna hurt, especially if you haven't done this before. I'm holding down those three strings with just one finger, so I want my thumb to be, well hidden behind the fretboard, so that it's right in the middle of the width of the fretboard. And once it's there, it's giving me maximum pressure over here. And then when I stretch out to add this third finger in on the third fret, what I actually do is sometimes, especially in this example, because it's not like I'm getting a break from this chord, I'm constantly holding it to show you guys. So what I'm doing is I actually press down my index finger with my middle finger, and that gives me a little bit of extra support. So I'm just going to show you without. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a slight buzz on the second string, the C note on the second string. So what I'm going to do is give myself some extra pressure, and no matter how hard I hit that string, it doesn't buzz anymore. So those are a little bit of tricks you're gonna have to work out for yourself. So the thumb position, the finger position, and what's interesting about this chord is that the whole version is basically learning a bar chord, and I think it sounds really nice, and it's a lot of fun to play. But there are different ways you can play it. Like in the F major video, I said if you take a D major shape and you bring it up to the sixth fret, as in your leading finger, your ring fingers on the sixth fret, and the other two fingers follow one fret behind on the same strings, then that becomes an F major shape. So similarly, if you take the D minor shape and you bring that up to the same fret, your ring finger, your third finger is on the sixth fret, it becomes an F minor shape. And you can have E major moved up one fret, it becomes F major. And the same thing if you want to do that like this, as in just remove the bar from the bottom strings if you can't hold it for right now. but principally it becomes the same thing as doing this on the bottommost string. You can only use those three strings, the ones that you're pressing down, which is why I would like to teach you, you know, the third fret plus the bar as a beginner chord for F minor, because it does give some bassy richness. So that's my take on F minor. Now, where this basics for beginners playlist is going to progress is I'm going to start making a new series on bar chords, and you know, there are two basic types of bar chords. So, and we're going to talk about how to move them up the board, and this will also become an exercise in learning the notes on the guitar. So all these markings, like, you know, on my guitar I have trapeziums, that's the typical Les Paul style by Epiphone, and on most guitars there are circles, or sometimes, you know, there's a triangle made, but basically this is the third fret, fifth fret, seventh fret, ninth, and 12th. And you know, learning bar chords, what we're doing is we're basically taking a root note, adding a shape, and we're moving it from fret to fret. So it's going to be a good exercise in learning what those frets are actually called and how the notation works on the guitar, on the fretboard. So that being that, that's my take on F minor. That's a little bit of an update on what's coming up with this channel. And if you like this video, if you thought these tips were useful, please do comment below telling me you liked it. I do like receiving a vote of confidence. And as always, I'm going to bring you as much content as I can, as often as I can. So stay tuned for the next video. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.